In Inscryption, there's a secret boss you can unlock in the end of Act number 3. Easily, this is one of the hardest bosses in the game, so strap in. Here's going to be a quick guide on how to get that secret boss and a very quick overview on what this boss will do and how to prepare for it. I've said this before in so many other videos, but spoiler alert. Seriously, there are huge spoilers here. While this thing isn't directly going to show you what happens in the game, there's enough here to warrant the warning, so beware. What's up guys, it's Marks here, and this is going to be a quick guide on the Mycologist secret boss in Inscryption. If you've gone through Act number 1 of Inscryption, you're pretty familiar with who the Mycologist is. When you have two of the same card, the Mycologist will combine the stats together, making a single card with the combined stats for the exact same cost. While the Mycologist isn't exactly a scribe, he is a recurring character with some power and makes his appearances all throughout the entire game. Now, to unlock this secret boss, you need to pay special attention to him in Act number 2. When you beat a scribe on the right side, you'll see that his little hut will pop up just right on the right side of the map. When you enter into the hut, it's the same thing as Act number 1. He'll be looking for 2 cards to combine, except instead of any duplicates in your deck, it's very specific this time around. In order, he will request a Gravedigger, Field Mice, Sentry Drone, and then a Blue Mage. Thankfully, each of these cards can be purchased in their respective stores in the different areas all throughout the entire map. The Gravedigger, Field Mice, and Blue Mage can be purchased in the bottom left corner as long as you spam it a number of times, while the Sentry Drone is in the top right of his respective store. Cycle through some of those cards and eventually they'll pop up, and as long as you get 2 duplicates, then you are good to go. Of course, you can also unlock them in random card packs, but it's a little bit too much RNG for my style. Of course, if you do need to farm some credits, the easiest way to do so is on the practice dummy, which I referenced in another video about the Bone Lord in the top right of your screen right now. Wow! But in order to do this, just head to the 2nd floor of Magnificus's tower and just kill the practice dummy over and over if you need some of those extra credits. Now, once you've completed all of the Mycologist's requests, they're going to give you a little speech dialogue and you'll be rewarded with a purple glowing key right beside the table. Pick it up and, well, you won't exactly know what it is just quite yet, but as soon as you head over to Act number 3, you can activate the boss. In Act number 3 in Botopia, take the waypoint to Eastern Botopia. It's easy to remember because Botopia basically just mirrors the map in Act number 2, so it's where the hut was in the 2nd act. This time, there's a hidden diagonal arrow in the bottom right of the screen taking you to this weird purple area. Following that path, you'll find the purple lock. Now, just use your purple key here, head inside, and some crazy things will happen. Essentially, the Mycologist takes over PO3's body and boom, you got a boss fight on your hands. In my opinion, this was the hardest boss to fight because of the Mycologist's ability. It will consistently move its cards towards the middle, upon which it will fuse them together into some sort of super card. Thus, trying to take out the cards before they hit the center is essential. Otherwise, they're going to have massive stats with so many different abilities, and they're more or less indestructible in the middle. Now, once you take out the first phase and enter into the 2nd phase of the boss, he's going to fuse all of the cards that you have together into an amalgamation on your side of the board, and of course, one on his. Now, your side of the board mirrors his. Anytime you play any of the cards besides the middle, they're going to be shuffled towards the middle and eventually fuse into some sort of super bond. I'm just going to say, personally, the 2nd phase felt a lot easier than the 1st phase because chances are, if you've already beaten the 1st phase, you have a lot of cards on your side and he's not going to have too many on his side, and so you just combine together and you're going to be overpowered right off the bat. I will say, please note that this boss fight is pretty difficult, so I'd recommend at least finishing 2 of the areas in Botopia so you have a decent amount of cards coming into this. And so eventually when you do beat the boss, well, the Mycologist is going to fuse together some sort of final card, which has what looks like a picture on the background of it. They'll claim they just put together a piece of the old data, which is a fantastic thing to hear, and basically just disappears, restoring PO3 to his former glory. For finishing this boss, you will be rewarded with an amalgamate card. I said that wrong. The Mycobot, which will retain whatever stats and effects it had on it at the end of the battle, which is pretty neat and will just help you out wherever you go in Botopia. Okay, so now that we've gone over the guide, let's dig into some of the Mycologist lore because, in my opinion, it's a little bit interesting. Similar to the Bone Lord, the Mycologist has clearly been granted some sort of power through the old data. Enough so that they have a pretty easy job of taking over PO3's body and then erasing his memory of anything that just happened there. Also too, the experiments they're running isn't just for recreationally combining things. If you recreationally combine things like that, that's kind of messed up. But clearly their purpose is to combine data fragments from the old data together in order to put something together. And this is very clearly evidenced by their final line before they completely disappear. But of course it doesn't end here, because the Mycologist plays a role in the ARG for Inscryption as well. What? There's an ARG for Inscryption? Well, if you aren't aware, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there, which is all part of this ARG, including that weird little picture that was shown by the Mycologist before disappearing. I highly recommend you read it over because it is really interesting to me at least, but the link for that is going to be found in the description of this video. Well, that's gonna wrap everything up for the Mycologist. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and all that fun YouTube stuff. Also too, follow me on Twitch if you want to see me playing some of these games. Right now, Inscryption has this new Casey mod for it, where essentially it's just like the endless mode of Act Number 1. Playing through it, it's a ton of fun. Links for all of that is going to be down below in the description, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.